Greetings, this is Lazy Slimy. So today I found an interesting comment about Polygon. CryptoPsycho says that there is a bridge actually when they are going to launch their new thing, which is coming pretty soon, later this year. I did not check the date really. So pretty much he says there's a bridge, they use zk proof and swaps. And a bit like 3 days ago, Too Crispy also shared an interesting article about Polygon, make multiple blockchains feel like a single chain. So I thought that has quite a bit of interest from the community. I didn't know anything about this either, so let's have a look at it. I watched quite a few videos so that you don't have to. So coming to the official Polygon blog site, so I watched a lot of YouTube videos, but essentially I've narrowed down to just this article, which is official, unlike YouTube videos. So the most important part is here. So we're talking about Polygon CDK, which is a chain development kit, which is essentially a set of tools for developers, open source and modular code base that anyone anywhere can use to launch their own L2 chain. So now that we're talking about interoperability, we in L1X community are used to thinking about interoperability as any layer 1 to any layer 1. Well, the rest of the blockchain community might not have the same expectations or definition of the word interoperability. Have a look at this. It's even highlighted by the blog very nicely for us. Any developer deploying a chain using Polygon CDK will be launching a ZK powered L2 on Ethereum by connected to a shared ZK bridge. Every chain is also seamlessly interoperable, connected to every other. Together, these chains form the value layer of the internet. So, to repeat this again, ZK bridge, developers deploy a chain, a layer 2 chain on Ethereum using Polygon CDK. So, layer 2s deployed with CDK on Ethereum using the bridge are interoperable with each other. Okay. Another little thing, in this case it's from Reddit, so it's not exactly very trustworthy. We should always try to get our information from official sources, but given that it's very consistent with everything else I've read, I thought it would be a good to show this one. Polygon is a sidechain. What makes people think it's a layer 2? So before in a video I saw that the existing, so the upgrade for Polygon is essentially they're gonna keep the existing version, which is Polygon proof of stake, and add another one which is going to exist in parallel to it, which is Polygon zero knowledge proof something, Validium something. So this provides a bit of context. The distinction between layer 2 and sidechain at high level is that layer 2 security relies on Ethereum or any other layer 1. And whereas sidechain manages its own security with its own validators and consensus. So that's not to say that it's any better than that of a layer 2. It depends on how the sidechain manages it, which in fact is an interesting one, a comment here, and it's controlled by, we're talking about the upcoming upgrade, the new chain. It's controlled by 5 or 7 or 8 multisig. I see it's a good representation of how little security and decentralization actually matters to money grabbers. Yep, really makes you appreciate how L1X made this. And that's really the first thing that you should look when looking at some kind of layer 1 or layer 2. And that layer 2 chains are not any better in that regard. Arbitrum, Optimism, they all have multisig admin keys that can steal funds from the bridges. Yep, security. They're right here. In the trilemma, we have security, decentralization, and scalability/speed. With those layer 2s, we get speed in exchange for both security and decentralization. Yikes. Normally you would think that you would sacrifice 1 for 1, but in this case you're sacrificing 2 for 1. Someone else correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is currently a sidechain with plans to move to a layer 2. So I always thought of Polygon as a layer 2, but apparently technically it's a sidechain rather than a layer 2. I guess it's kind of like when we say that L1X is a token, because we are used to saying tokens instead of coins, because everything is a token nowadays, which is not technically correct, but that's just what everyone is used to, so I guess it's the same effect here. Yes, indeed, Polygon is a sidechain, and Polygon zkEVM, which is the up-and-coming thing, because notice it was just 2 months ago. zkEVM is the new thing. Technically, they're going to transition from a sidechain into Validium with settlement on Ethereum, but data validity external. So yeah, a few more technical details that I did not really bother to understand because I got better things to do. There's been a debate whether Validiums should be considered layer 2s, given that they don't fully inherit Ethereum's security. Well, yeah, more technical details. So next point that I would like to make is that Polygon fans surely know about Polkadot, right? Parachains are a thing. It's if you've been even like a year in blockchain in Web3, you should be aware that this is a thing and that Polkadot is the pretty much at the moment the most popular player in interoperability together with Axelar and Cosmos. So this actually video came out just a day ago. The recommendation by Altcoin Daily about Polkadot parachains, crypto gems for this year. So I thought I would take a look at it because it's quite fascinating to watch what's happening here. Moonbeam has been in development since apparently 2020, but I did not look into it too much. It's connected to 19 parachains and 16 layer 1/ layer 2s outside of Polkadot like Ethereum and Cosmos. So really, if you look at this compared to Polygon, the only attraction to Polygon I could see is that maybe they have better development tools, maybe they have better efficiency when it comes to connecting strictly layer 2s, maybe they have better connection to Vitalik Buterin, but other than that, I don't see the appeal, honestly. The interoperability, they are clearly failing against parachains. And let's have a look at more things, because if we compare to layer 1x, so Polkadot can only connect parachains and some other layer 1s, namely Ethereum and Cosmos. And remember that at the moment, layer 1x is working on Bitcoin, which I'm pretty sure the other one's technology is nowhere near that of layer 1x because of how great of a reach it can get. Then we have number 2 is Astar. I thought it was interesting to mention that it provides virtual machine from EVM to WASM, which remember that there's actually an interesting article by Grover recently on Bankless, how the WASM to eBPF translation is a very big deal. And we're not even comparing eBPF to the Solidity, which is the language in which Ethereum smart contracts are written, but instead comparing eBPF to WASM, which is the execution time is like 15 times faster and uses like 1/3 of a memory. Yeah, lines of code from 60 to 20. So it's that much of a difference. And here we are looking at comparison between Solidity and WASM. So it's gonna be even a bigger deal because Solidity is essentially written like JavaScript, and JavaScript is not exactly known to be exactly efficient. It's just the most popular one. Then we go to number 3, which is social KYC, decentralized identity verification. And they also talk about privacy, which I fail to see how you could put KYC and privacy in the same paragraph. But regardless, Layer 1x is also working on this. And going into number 4, this is a DeFi thing, which is we are in great hands with AJ and Jake from L1X, And then we have cloud computing, which is also being developed by a project. And remember that Kevin is planning to have cloud computing and its own operating system and L1X browser. So it's funny to see how everything that's developing here is already being taken care of by L1X and is planning probably to be released before those guys do because of just how fast our devs are. That'll be it for me. It's been Sleazy Slimy. Do join my Discord server if you want, where I'm posting interesting things from chat, all the audios from the week. I am putting the timestamps, including AMA, but there was none this time because in probably a few hours there's going to be the big announcement that they promised. And I will be covering this, of course, and I will see you there.